Welcome friends to UPSC ALC exam 2023. Today what we are doing, part 2 of the 6-part series of this exam. So part 2 is on labor laws, industrial relations, labor welfare, social security. We'll be doing keyword by keyword analysis of these very topics of the ALC exam syllabus, right? So this is our 6-part series, overall strategy being the first part. Second part is the labor laws, IR, labor welfare, social security. Third part, journal mental ability. Fourth is HRM and natural justice. Current affairs is the fifth one. Indian constitution is the sixth one. So today we'll be covering part 2 of this series, that is labor laws, IR, labor welfare and social security, right? Before proceeding further, I'll be discussing the weightage of the topics of the ALC exams which were held in 2015 and 2017. So we'll be doing the comparative analysis of these two exams, right? So if you are going through this, we can analyze here what important fact is that in 2015, out of 120 questions, labor laws, the questions which were asked on labor laws were 46, right? Whereas in 2017 exam, the questions on labor laws were 62. And if we look into the figures of IR, labor welfare and social security, 2015 exam was having 15 questions, and in 2017 exam, we have total of 17 questions. So what do we infer out of this question? That there is no standard pattern or standard percentage which is there for labor laws and IR questions. This percentage can be changed anytime. Okay. For this exam, which is scheduled to be held in 2023, the percentage may vary, but yes, the significant point to be noted here is that the more focus would be on the labor laws and on IR. So the paper will be labor laws and IR oriented, as the position itself is about assistant labor commissioner. Okay. If you guys have any query with respect to any of these topics, like expected exam date, syllabus of the exam, difficulty level, weightage of the different topics, analysis of the previous exam, expected cutoff, and how to prepare, then we have shared different videos on the YouTube with respect to these many queries. You may consider those videos for any of those query. Okay. And in the last of this video, we'll be discussing what human peritus will do in case you want to enroll with the human peritus for ALC exam, right? Now, this is the prescribed syllabus of ALC: labor welfare, social work and social security laws. So out of this syllabus, we'll be doing keyword analysis, keyword based analysis of labor welfare, social work and social security laws, IR, and then Trade Union Act, Trade Union Movement, and these labor laws which are listed here: ID Act, Payment of Wages Act, Minimum Wages Act, Contract Labor Act, Child Labor Act, Payment of Gratuity Act, and Building and Other Construction Workers Act. So we'll be dwelling upon these very topics of the syllabus one by one. So what should be done and what should not be done. Okay. And before again proceeding further, I must tell you one thing, that our team has gone into research of R&D of 20 recruitment test papers for defining the boundary of the ALC exam syllabus. So we did not only analyze the ALC syllabus which has been prescribed by the UPSC, we have also analyzed what specific coverage is there with respect to these 20 recruitment tests of UPSC, which were having keywords related to IR and labor laws. Okay, so based on that, we have defined the overall boundary of the whole syllabus of the UPSC ALC exam. So these exams are right in front of you. Okay, like EPFO, store officer, admin officer, drug inspector, admin officer. Okay. Okay. Again, why I'm showing you syllabus of the UPSC ALC exam, that this has been prescribed. But apart from whatever is prescribed, we have to cover certain other things which is significant to know this thing. So whatever is given with respect to labor laws, I'm talking about specifically here, not with respect to IR, social work and social security. So if you have to talk about labor laws, these very acts, they are prescribed specifically in the syllabus, so these have to be covered, these must be covered, right? But what additional labor laws we need to cover, this is again based on the R&D done by our team. So first of all, I'll be telling you the list of those labor laws which needs to be additionally done, okay, other than those which are mentioned in the prescribed which are mentioned in the syllabus. Okay, so that is Factories Act, Employees Compensation Act 1923, ESI Act 1948, Equal Remuneration Act 1976, Unorganized Worker Social Security Act 2008, Payment of Bonus Act, and then we have Employees Provident Fund Act 1952, Industrial Employment Standing Order Act, Interstate Migrant Workmen Act, and Maternity Benefit Act. And I will also be taking care of the question with respect to coverage of new labor codes. Okay, what has to be covered? I'll be covering that thing also in this video. Okay, so first of all, I must tell you the reason why should we cover these additional acts, not only these acts which are prescribed in the syllabus. The reason is that if you look at the 2017 question paper of ALC, we will find questions from those very acts which are not prescribed in the 2017 syllabus. Right. So if you look at this question is this question has been asked from ESIC Act. Okay, and this question is from 2017 ALC exam. Then look at this question. This question is from Equal Remuneration Act. Again, this was not prescribed in the syllabus. If you look at another question, this is from maternity benefit, which was not prescribed in the 2017 syllabus. Okay, so that is why, based on the analysis only, we are telling you that we have to cover these additional labor laws as well. Why? Because they are actually they are under the umbrella of social security and IR only, right? So that is why we need to cover these in addition to what has been prescribed by the UPSC. Okay, don't forget this. Got it? Now, the next question which needs to be addressed is that whether we go for covering new 4 labor codes or we should stick to the older acts, 19 older acts. Okay, which I had just shown you before this slide. Okay, so code on wages, we know that came in 2019, and rest of the 3 codes, code on IR, code on social security and welfare, and OSH code, they came in 2020. Okay, so our suggestion based on our analysis only, we are just suggesting that we should proceed with the older acts only. Start with the older acts, because whatever is there in the labor codes, that is the compiled version of the labor acts only, right? So to understand, to have the deeper understanding of the provisions, we should start with the easy version that is provided in the chunks in the form of the labor acts. So labor codes is a bigger version of the labor acts, because as many as labor acts are getting subsumed in labor codes, right? So it is better to start with older acts, and in addition to the older acts, we must do delta. So delta is nothing but delta is the changes in older acts versus my labor codes. So whatever has been their new changes as compared to the older acts, we should focus upon that, right? So you can take the summary of those changes. right? If you go through our labor codes booklet, that has been prescribed in almost 7 to 8 pages before the labor codes. So you have to go through that summary, then the coverage would be sufficient enough. And if you want to cover the in-depth labor codes, then it's your choice, right? But start with the older acts and then proceed towards the uh, coverage of the changes brought out by way of labor codes. See guys, again there is a specific reason why we are suggesting you this thing, that first of all this approach would be easy, right? And secondly, till now in 2021 the latest exam of UPSC was EPFO, right? 2020 exam, one exam I am talking about, EPFO, in which there were labor laws. The syllabus coverage was related to labor laws, right? So if we look into that exam, there was no single question asked from labor codes. All the questions appeared from the labor laws only, right? And the second thing is these labor codes are yet not enforced, although they have been into enactment, but they are yet not enforced. That is why we must focus on labor acts. And above all, the syllabus is prescribing itself the labor acts, not the labor codes. So these are the 2-3 reasons why we are emphasizing on doing labor acts and not labor codes. But yes, with respect to general knowledge point of view, we must be aware that what are the 4 labor codes, when they were enacted or introduced, and what are the acts that are getting subsumed under these different labor codes. So all kind of summary of the changes you can also go through along with these general knowledge based questions on labor codes. Okay. Now, what other points should be kept in mind while covering the syllabus of the labor laws, right? So everyone knows that labor laws, they are basically divided into chapters and parts. So we should be knowing the names of the chapters and parts, because there can be question on the name of the chapters also, and name of the parts as well, right? And now the important question is whether we should go for learning of section numbers or not. See guys, again we suggest you that it is hardly there. There will be only 1 or 2 questions on sections. That can be the scenario. So, and section numbers are huge in number. So one may ignore the learning of the section numbers, because first of all that will be done at the cost of the other preparation. Okay, so you can focus upon the other preparation rather than mugging up the section numbers from which only 1 or 2 questions are expected, right? And secondly, if you are joining human peritus, I must tell you that the faculty sometime, most of the time, they also tell you that how we can deduce from the labor laws that which section is important. So when you go through the provisions, sometimes we get to analyze that yes, this section is important. So try to remember important sections if you can, right? Do not forget schedules. So every act has schedules attached to them. Most of the acts, they have schedules attached to them. So we should learn the name of the schedules, as well as we should try to learn the content of those schedules also. So names as well as content, wherein it is again very specific content is given. Okay. Now, should we go for going through rules apart from acts? No. Okay. So whenever we come across through rules, just ignore them. Only focus upon the labor acts. Okay. Now, I must tell you, apart from these important points, what can be focused upon in labor acts itself. So the year of the last amendments, we must always focus upon last amendments which were there in any of the Labor Act. Okay, so significant amendments we must remember. Okay, and whenever it comes to definition part from the Labor Acts, we must be very specific about what is included and what is excluded. So as many as questions have been asked in these recruitment tests from the definition parts, and that too from the inclusion and exclusion parts. So focus upon that also. Okay, and there are certain acts which have unique definitions. Okay, for example, the definition of protected workmen, for example, the definition of outworker. Okay, so we must look for those acts which are having these unique definitions. So question, simple question, these are simple questions, but sometimes at the time of attempting answers in the questions, we just forget that this definition belongs to which of the acts. We may get confused. Okay. And along with that, we must also focus upon the enforcement dates and enactment dates of the various acts. So recruitment tests, they are specifically sometimes concerned about the enforcement dates of the labor acts. Okay, fine. Okay, now we'll be dwelling upon the industrial relation, labor welfare, and social security topics. What is to be included? Although the list is very vast, but we have just jot down those topics in few of the topics, and under which we have to go through many subtopics. Okay, so first is approaches to IR. Whenever we are going through the preparation of IR, we must be simply conceptually clear about the approaches of the IR, right? And evolution of IR. So it is all belonging to the history of the industrial relations, starting from the uh, evolution of your Factories Act 1881. So all the dates and periods we have to learn with respect to evolution of the IR. Then conflict and dispute resolution. So under it we must focus upon the collective bargaining mechanism, and then we have arbitration, adjudication, conciliation. So kind of, so all the distinctive features along with the what do they actually mean. So we must be aware of these very mechanisms of dispute resolution, right? And then WPIM. So workers' participation in management, another important topic in IR, in which basically we have to focus upon the tools of WPIM and what government has taken as initiative in this respect, like plant councils, unit councils, joint management councils, formation of all these councils with respect to WPIM. And there is one WPIM bill which came in 1990. Although that bill was never passed, but we must be aware of that bill because many a times the question has been appeared in these recruitment tests from that 1990 bill. Okay. Again, trade union movement is again the kind of chronology sort of that which trade union movement happened when and who was prominently associated with that trade union movement. We have to cover that. Governance structure. So here under governance structure, we must be focusing upon the uh, uh, structure of the ministry, right? So there are many offices, labor ministry offices, that, like for example, CLC, we have CLC, and then we have DGE office, and then we have Director General of FASLI, and then we have DG of Mine Safety, then we have Labor Bureau. So we must be aware of their structure as well as their functions. So that is to be focused upon. Labor commissions, their recommendations, when they were brought, and when they produce their reports, and what were the important recommendations, we must not skip up on that, right? Then there are certain social security schemes. So if you go to eShram portal, then we will get to know that which social security schemes are prevalent in India right now, in currently, basically in current scenario, which schemes are prevalent. And not only the names, will be having information with respect to the eligibility criteria as well as the benefits available under those schemes. Like for example, Atal Pension Yojana or PM Suraksha Bima Yojana or PM Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana types of schemes you will see there. So you can get the information from there as well. Employers organization, so AIOE, FICCI. So we must be aware that who were the founding members of these organizations and when these organizations were formed, and anything significant with respect to these organizations we must be aware of. ILO, again an important organization, so we must be aware of its structure as well as functions, right? And yes, in ILO we have to also focus upon the conventions, core conventions which are ratified by the India, and what are the other non core conventions but significant. So we must be having knowledge of those conventions also. So under labor welfare, we have to cover the theories and principles of labor welfare very thoroughly. And we have a clear distinction in mind with respect to the approaches to IR and labor welfare theories and principles. So do not get confused. Okay. Okay. When it comes to occupational health and safety, basically what we have to cover herein, that of course, there are two, if you look at the Labor Acts, there are two significant schedules prescribed with respect to notifiable diseases and occupational diseases. So what are the causes of those occupational health safety? And again, what are the significant things with respect to any OHS in India? So we have to focus upon that. Okay. Economics of labor market. So all economics with respect to demand, supply of labor, indifference curve, isoquants. So we should focus upon that thing also. Although this is not been specifically mentioned, but yes, this is important part of the labor market. So we must be aware, being an ALC officer. Okay. Wage theories. Again, the conceptual clarity of the wage theories should be there. Then what are the important aspects related to labor market in India, like how we study labor market? So what are the surveys conducted by the government and what are the methods of conducting those surveys? That is significant with respect to labor market in India, and what are the problems and challenges faced by labor in India. So these are the significant things that we must focus upon, right?
Let us now understand how you guys will prepare for UPSC ALC exam with human peritus. So इसको समझने के लिए हम लोग क्या करते हैं? Let us go to website of human peritus. So we'll go on the home page. Once I'm on the home page, I'll click on UPSC ALC link, and once I click on that, I come on the UPSC Assistant Labor Commissioner ALC exam page. ठीक है? अब guys, जो तुम्हारा entire preparation का जो plan है, that has got 3 parts. सबसे पहले आप लोग क्या करोगे? सबसे पहले you will go through the concise printed booklets which will send you at your home via courier. अब अगर आपको देखना है कि इन कंसाइज प्रिंटेड बुकलेट्स में हाउ कंटेंट हैज बीन अरेंज्ड, सो ऑन द सेम पेज स्क्रॉल डाउन एंड यू कैन चेक आउट द सैंपल ऑफ प्रिंटेड बुकलेट्स. आप इसमें से कुछ बुकलेट्स का सैंपल आप देख लीजिए. यू कैन गो थ्रू कंप्लीट इंडेक्स पेज, उसके बाद काफी सारे पेजेस दिए हुए हैं एंड यू कैन सी हाउ एवरीथिंग हैज बीन पुट टुगेदर. ठीक है. सो स्टेप नंबर 1 डन, गोइंग थ्रू एंटायर सिलेबस through these printed booklets. Of course, current affairs are also included in this. उसके बाद आप क्या करोगे? Then you will go through video classes, either live या recorded, whichever way you are enrolled. You will go through these वीडियो क्लासेस, ठीक है। अब नाउ टू अंडरस्टैंड एंड टू असेस द क्वालिटी एंड स्टाइल ऑफ टीचिंग इन दीज वीडियो क्लासेस, बट यू कैन डू अगेन ऑन द सेम पेज, स्क्रॉल डाउन एंड यू कैन गो थ्रू सम ऑफ दीज क्लासेस। जैसे यहाँ कुछ लेबर लॉज का क्लास पढ़ा हुआ है, एचआर का है, ओबी का है, न्यूमेरिकल एप्टीट्यूड का है। सो कुछ क्लासेस भी आप चला के आप देख लीजिए कि कैसे हाउ द टीचर्स आर टीचिंग इन दीज क्लासेस एंड हाउ दे आर मेकिंग थिंग्स इजियर फॉर यू। सो दिस वाज स्टेप 2। अब कुछ स्टूडेंट्स ऐसा भी करते हैं दैट दे गो थ्रू वीडियो क्लासेस फर्स्ट, देन दे गो थ्रू बुकलेट्स, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन योर स्टाइल ऑफ लर्निंग, बट दीज टू स्टेप्स टुगेदर विल मेक श्योर कि आपका पूरा सिलेबस इसमें से कवर हो जाएगा। देन वी कम टू थर्ड स्टेप। थर्ड स्टेप में क्या होगा, यू विल गो थ्रू अ ऑनलाइन क्वेश्चन बैंक। अब ये सबसे इंटरेस्टिंग पार्ट है। सो गाइस, ऑनलाइन क्वेश्चन बैंक क्या है? So in this online question bank, there are approximately 7 to 8,000 questions, which are subdivided into 100 subtopics. जैसे कि हमने पूरे एचआर को छोटे छोटे टॉपिक में तोड़ दिया। एचआर के अंदर कंपनसेशन एक अलग टॉपिक है, परफॉर्मेंस अप्रेजल अलग है, एचआर प्लानिंग अलग है, मोटिवेशन अलग है। फिर उस सब टॉपिक्स के स्पेसिफिक सेक्शन वाइज टेस्ट हैं। जैसे कि कंपनसेशन के ही 80 सवाल होंगे या मोटिवेशन थ्योरीज के ही 50 सवाल होंगे। सो सब टॉपिक वाइज you will find these around 7-8,000 questions broken into subtopics. So इसका क्या फायदा है? So this gives you flexibility to focus only on those areas where you feel the need. Second thing guys, एवरी क्वेश्चन कम्स विद डिटेल्ड एक्सप्लेनेशन। मतलब जब आप ये सवाल करोगे, आपको अगर आपको नहीं आता है सवाल, आपको दोबारा से बुक देखने का जरूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि वहीं उसका डिटेल्ड एक्सप्लेनेशन हम लोगों ने दिया हुआ है। एंड नाउ ऑफ कोर्स प्रीवियस ईयर एएलसी, जैसे एएलसी से पहले 2017 में हुआ, 15 में हुआ, 13 में हुआ, वो सब तो इंक्लूडेड है ही। लेकिन जो यूपीएससी रिक्रूटमेंट एग्जाम्स होते हैं, जैसे कि ईपीएफओ, एपीएफसी, एडमिन ऑफिसर, ईएसआईसीडीडी, वो आज तक जितने भी हुए हैं, वो सारे सवाल भी आपके लिए इस ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म पे अवेलेबल हैं, एंड विच आर हाईली रेलेवेंट बाय द वे। और उसमें से जो रेलेवेंट नहीं है हमने हटा दिया है। जैसे कि आपको इंग्लिश भी आता है हर पेपर में, इंग्लिश आपके में नहीं है तो आपको इंग्लिश नहीं देखेगा। इंडियन फ्रीडम स्ट्रगल, उसके सवाल हमने हटा दिए हैं। इवन टॉपिक वाइज प्लानिंग है, जैसे कि आपको अपने कोर्स के लिए न्यूमेरिकल एप्टीट्यूड के अंदर आपको ट्रिग्नोमेट्री पढ़ने का जरूरत नहीं है, तो हमने हटा दिया है। सो जो रेलेवेंट सवाल है वही है इन 7,000 में। गाइस, इट इज सुपर इंपॉर्टेंट कि आपको ये 7,000 सवाल एक एक करके करने हैं। इनमें सवाल रिपीट भी होते हैं। ऐसा होता है कि एक बार एक सवाल कोई एपीएफसी में 2015 में आया, फिर वो एएलसी में 2017 में आ गया। सवाल रिपीट भी होते हैं। सो सिर्फ बुकलेट और वीडियो पढ़कर एग्जाम में नहीं जाना है, ये सारे सवाल एक एक करके आपको जरूर करने हैं। So this was part 3, which was a online question bank, जिसमें सेक्शनल टेस्ट है। अगर आप ये तीनों चीजें कर लेते हो, यू आर रेडी फॉर द एग्जाम। इसके बाद क्या है, आपको फुल लेंथ मॉक टेस्ट देने हैं। एंड आइडिया ऑफ मॉक टेस्ट इज नॉट टू मेक यू लर्न एनीथिंग न्यू। मॉक टेस्ट का क्या आइडिया है? to make you understand time management for the exam day, again on the online test platform, just like real UPSC exam, वैसे ऑनलाइन टेस्ट प्लेटफॉर्म है, ऑनलाइन टेस्ट है। तुम सीख तो चुके ही हो पहले। नाउ आइडिया इज टू अंडरस्टैंड कि टाइम मैनेजमेंट या स्ट्रेस कैसे हैंडल करना है, क्या चीज पहले करना है, क्या बाद में करना है, उन सब चीजों के लिए आप लोग मॉक टेस्ट करते हो। सो गाइस, इफ यू गो थ्रू दीज 3 steps और फिर मॉक टेस्ट विद अस, if you'll go through these 3 step and mock test with us, इसके अलावा आपको कुछ भी करने का जरूरत नहीं है। कोई दूसरा बुक नहीं छूना है, बेरेक्ट नहीं पढ़ना है, कोई प्रीवियस ईयर पेपर भी नहीं करना है। जो हमने दिया सिर्फ उतना ही करना है। अगर एक बार कर लो तब भी दूसरा बुक नहीं छूना है। एक बार कर लो तो हमारे कंटेंट को ही दूसरी बार करना है, तीसरी बार करना है, 5वीं बार करना है, और वो करके एग्जाम में बस चले जाना है। वी आर वेरी कॉन्फिडेंट अबाउट व्हाट वी आर टेलिंग यू टू डू, व्हाट वी आर टेलिंग यू टू स्टडी। लेकिन सब करना है। सिर्फ ऐसा नहीं करना कि ऑनलाइन सवाल लगा लिए और चले गए और बुकलेट नहीं पढ़ी या क्लास नहीं लगाई। ऐसा भी नहीं करना कि बुक क्लास लगा लिया लेकिन ऑनलाइन सवाल नहीं। जो दिया है 100% करना है, एंड देन रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी इज अवर्स दैट आपका एक अच्छा स्कोर क्यों नहीं आएगा। गाइस, दिस स्ट्रेटजी हैज वर्कड वेरी वेल। ALC का एग्जाम जो 2017 में हुआ था, इन दैट 35 guys were selected from all over India. Every 5th guy was human apparatus student. आप उनके नाम भी यहाँ देख सकते हैं, हम लोगों ने लिखा हुआ है कि जो लोग सेलेक्ट हुए हैं, ठीक है। उसके अलावा इनफैक्ट यू शुड गो एंड वॉच इंटरव्यूज ऑफ सम ऑफ देम। साक्षी चुक का इंटरव्यू आपको जरूर देखना है, हाउ शी हैज डन एवरीथिंग, इट्स वेरी मोटिवेटिंग, ठीक है। देन इसके अलावा आपको if you want to go ahead, we are starting live classes from 21st of November 2022, which will go on up to mid Feb तक हम लोग सिलेबस खत्म कर देंगे। So through website only you have to pay online, और आप enroll कर सकते हो। We want you to come for live classes, live class में आओ, सीखो, टीचर से बात करो and spend good time। अच्छे से पढ़ो, 3-4 महीने पढ़ो, पहली बार में एग्जाम निकालो and live your dream। And if there is any doubt, you can come back to us. There is also a link given in the description below. That link will connect you directly with our team via WhatsApp. Click on that, get connected, and do let us know whatever you feel like. All the best, guys.